Oh man. 9:12.
Suckling on the teat of tech with Paul Brislen and Wammo on Kiwi.
It's our weekly opportunity to talk high-tech with Paul Brislen, auden.wordpress.com. Paul Brislen on Twitter. And he's where it's windy at the moment because he's getting a tow bar fixed on.
Whoa. Hey, that's proper engineering, that is.
That's manly, right?
Steel
there.
and welding and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sitting in the waiting room drinking coffee, reading very old Women's Weekly magazine, so it's very manly.
While the real men outside put the tow bar on, is that what's...
Well, those who know what they're doing with the heavy equipment, get on with it. Yeah, it's all good.
Well, at least you know all about Windows 7 and its big release this week. Yesterday in New Zealand and today in the States.
Today in the rest of the world. Yes, Windows 7 is the non-Antichrist version of Windows Vista, which apparently hasn't sold quite as well as Microsoft would have liked.
Yeah.
And they have rushed out. I've got to say, it's lightning speed for an operating system. It's in the space of, 18 months, 2 years, would you say? I think it's probably...
a couple of 2-3 years. 2006, I think, was
they started talking about it, and all of a sudden, Shazam, here it is. And you've been using it for a little while now, haven't you?
I have. I've been using the beta release, which is practically the release that everyone's buying today.
That's right.
Because it's patched every week. You still get the weekly updates. And I got to say, I mean, I'm running it on a wee netbook, which is, it's starved for power, the netbook, but it runs Windows 7 very well.
Quite happily.
I've never had a blue screen of death. Gosh, and since when have you been able to say that? Like with the Windows operating system, I've never had a blue screen.
I mean, by the time they got around to sorting out XP, and I thought that was working quite nicely.
I had them with XP. I still had them with XP. I mean, the system worked good, but I still had blue screens with XP.
You still had the odd issue, didn't you?
Yeah.
Here and there. But, I'm hoping that Windows 7 is actually going to put to rest a lot of the misery that came with Windows Vista.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not had any problems with Vista, I must say, and neither should I, because I'm running 4 gig of RAM. That's a paddock full of RAMs, and if they can't keep my operating system in line, then I don't know what can. So hopefully this will be a sleeker, more beautiful operating system that just gets out of the way and lets you get on with owning a computer. That's as it should be.
Gets you away from even thinking about the operating system. You shouldn't even have to think about what your programs are running on.
No, I mean, who really cares? At the end of the day, you should not care a damn about what is between your computer's brain and your applications. I mean, it's a bit like worrying about what kind of brake fluid you've got in the brake linings you've got in the car. It should be completely invisible to you. You shouldn't care at all. And yet, for some reason, we've spent the last decade fretting about operating systems and service packs and push upgrades and which version I'm running and all of that nonsense. It's a complete waste of time and energy, frankly. So if Microsoft can nail it, then they probably cement themselves in as the mainstream operating system of choice for some time to come.
Yeah, and now for anyone who is wanting to make that upgrade soon, and you probably would be if you're stuck with Vista, but even if you've got Windows XP, what I would be recommending is still to do the complete clean install.
Clean install.
Don't
Always
do
a clean install.
Yeah.
No. Upgrades are for people who don't want to use their computer in a year's time.
Yeah.
Go for the clean up install, back everything up, and I understand that Windows talks you through it quite nicely, and the whole process is quite seamless.
Well, traditionally to install, like say Windows XP or Vista, I'd have to set aside at least half a day.
Plus recovery time.
Yeah.
You would. And you'd have to have no distractions. You have to unplug the phone and lock the kids in the carriage and just get on with it. Because, frankly, the slightest distraction, you were toast.
Yeah.
But this time around, no. Apparently, you watch the little hourglass turn around a few times, it reboots itself, and away you go.
Quite comfortably in under an hour.
Well... Naught to operating system in 60 minutes. That seems a little bit excessive, frankly. Where will it all end? We might as well be using Macs if that was the case. My godfather. So, well done to Microsoft for that. I think if they can crack that and make it invisible, then they've won.
There are the comparisons being made between the shambles that has been Apple's what are they calling it? Is it Leopard?
Leopard, Snow Leopard,
Snow Leopard
upgrade.
Versus...
Oh, but there's a terrible flaw that may expose that may wipe all of your data if you switch from guest mode to super user mode.
Yeah.
But with an Apple, that's rare and fairly sort of a once in a 100-year storm kind of situation, isn't it? Whereas with Microsoft, you just sort of go, yep, well. Was expecting something like that, so here it is. Yep. But hopefully they turn the corner this time.
But as they want to do, being release week, Microsoft have created all kind of wacky kind of promotions around the world.
Not least of which was to host a party broken here on the Wammo show.
Yeah.
My godfathers, that was outstanding. But no, even better than that is the Japanese burger. The Windows 7 burger, which for 777 yen, which I really have no idea how much that is in New Zealand pesos, you get yourself a 7-patty burger designed to clog your arteries just as you open the packet, I think.
At Burger King.
At Burger King, that's right, in Japan. And, it's all, for 7 days you've got this opportunity to try and kill yourself with meat.
7 patties.
It's fantastic. I love it. I wish they'd do something like that here, but of course here we just get recommended retail price.
Yeah,
and nothing else.
But also you'd get the fat cops.
Fat police. Well, if they put down your donut, step away from the coffee shop and come and chase me, you fat police. And quite frankly, I'd be up for that. I think I could do a runner long before the fat police find me. But, at least some kind of promotional activity. I don't think they're doing anything here, are they? I've read in National Business Review this morning that the price is retail price. Was it $5.99 if you buy it off the shelf, $4.99 if you're an upgrade. You can buy it cheaper from the States and download it. So I don't understand what Microsoft New Zealand's up to there. I'm hoping they've got something exciting planned for the weekend. But
because my beta copy runs out in March.
Starts
shutting down from March and then won't work at all from June next year. So I was hoping for some kind of discount for users who downloaded the beta, but nothing so far. For
the early adopters who've been doing a fairly good job, I think, about promoting its non-Vista-like quality.
Yeah.
So it's you would hope that they would get into that, but so far I've seen no sign of it.
Bit of a shame. Oh well. So anyway, we rate Windows 7. We give it the big tick at the moment so far. Finally, just before we go, tell us about what are you two doing on YouTube?
U2? Well, U2's having a concert in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena in California, and they are broadcasting it live on YouTube to a chosen select former Commonwealth group, by the look of it. Australia, New Zealand, I think Singapore, and a couple of other places are going to be able to watch the concert live on YouTube as it happens in Pasadena. Now, normally it's so far, so what, but this time around you get to watch it live, and because of the time zones, it's about 3:30 in the afternoon New Zealand time.
Oh, that's cool.
Which sounds like it's the long weekend, kick back, put YouTube on, watch a YouTube concert, and then get on with your day, I think.
As far as I know, this is only the second time YouTube have done a live streaming event.
That's right, and you can guarantee that we'll have a good crack at saturating the Southern Cross cable and perhaps even crashing the odd server or two. So I'd give it a go. Stress test the internet for the weekend and see what you can do with it, frankly.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Talking about
give the guys good kicking.
Stress testing the internet. Yesterday I clocked in at 24 hours worth of video on YouTube on the Radio Wammo YouTube channel.
You've got a full day of Wammo on YouTube. That's worth celebrating, isn't it?
That's worth taking a long weekend for.
Have a day off because you've got one in lieu now. That's brilliant. I love it.
But it's extraordinary how easy it is to rack up internet time.
It is, isn't it? And video in particular. It's the full-on archive. I saw you there in a jacket, young man. It'll be pipe and flippers next.
Wasn't me.
Well, no, it's a clone. It was your stand-in, your body double. I know, but it's there for all time now. You'll be able to show your kids in 50 years' time and go, look, this is what Dad used to look like.
Well, that's the kids. What kids? That's the thing. That's the see. That's the thing about the reason why I'm doing it is this. Oh gosh, what's that? That sounds a bit old.
That is a very low-flying plane. Sorry about that. It's. I hope it's going to land somewhere other than on my head.
Is it a new flash plane, or it sounds like an old plane?
It sounds like a very old plane. It's some kind of Lancaster, I believe, or I may have travelled back in time.
Lovely. Oh, maybe you
sorry
have.
about that.
You're in a Doctor Who episode.
Yes, some kind of warped reality.
Yeah.
Well, it is Manukau. Say no more.
I was going to explain why I'm doing it. We'll explain that in another time. Thanks very much,
All
Paul.
right. Anytime.
Paul Brislen, auden.wordpress.com. Hit him up on Twitter as well, twitter.com/Paul Brislen.